doing tonight? It's Matt with the DPI podcast. Today is April the 12th. God, I almost forgot what today was. And we are having another DPI live news and note show. It's going to be a lot of notes because there wasn't a lot of news this week. So let's start off first by saying happy birthday. Today is Euro Disney, or Disneyland Paris as we know it now, 30th anniversary. So they did some celebrating today. They've been celebrating for the past month, and they're going to celebrate through next year. If you are interested in another Disney celebration, you know, you've got World's 50th this year, Magic Kingdom's 50th this year, basically. Then you get Epcot's 40th next year, and then we have Paris's 30th this year. So, lots going on. Lots going on when it comes to Disney. Tonight, good show. Let's start off by saying, hi, we're the Disney Planning Insights Podcast. If you're new here, check us out. Like, share, subscribe. Do all those fun things. That helps us out. We're really like a weekly news and notes show. We've been working on some educational content for Disney planners, Disney travelers, and then some entertainment content, whether it's ride videos, show videos, all kinds of stuff like that. You can find that all over on our YouTube channel, the Disney Planning Insights Podcast, Twitch, Matt_DPI, Instagram, Princesses and the Mouse, Facebook, at DPI Podcast. And if you're looking to book a trip, you can check out the website below it's kind of coming into screen right now. Or you can go over to Facebook and reach out to us at PATM Disney Travel, and we'll take care of you there, whether it's just advice on how to plan a trip or actually booking and planning and helping you out for the full gusto of the trip. We do all that. So just let us know what you need, and we'll let you know how we can help. So, news tonight, like I said, not a ton of news. Really, you got Disney's. Peter's over on the other screen, having some fun with some characters on the screen. You got Disneyland Paris's 30th anniversary. And then you got Expedition Everest. The refurbishment of that is getting pushed out indefinitely. My joke was maybe Disney forgot which mountain they were retheming to Princess and the Frog. So, you know, don't be surprised if you go to Animal Kingdom and you see some Tiana. New themes for the Walt Disney World Marathon weekend for the 30th anniversary. If you like the 90s, you'll love these themes. Lots of pastels, lots of bold colors. So you get 30 years of the marathon half weekend, and it's 10 years of the Dopey Challenge. So lots of cool stuff going on with that. That's usually late January, early February. So stay tuned. We'll let you know what's going on with that. And past that, just not a whole lot else going on around the parks. Really think that Disney was leaving this week kind of open like they did when the 50th anniversary week was for Magic Kingdom. Just so there wasn't a lot of news outside of what was going on at that park. But again, when we don't have a lot of news, we have a lot of notes, and we're going to talk to Peter with Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel. He's over on the other screen. He's getting ready right now, so let me hit the screen to bring him on, and we will talk to Peter with Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel. What is going on, my friend?
How much? Yep, I'm good.
You're good?
I didn't know if I'd make it, but I'm here. Every week, it'll just basically be a question mark of whether or not I can get out of practice in time and if I have a match or not. Oh,
Completely understand. Glad that you were able to join us. You just got back from a relatively eventful trip to Orlando, Disney World, Universal Studios. And I don't think you stayed in park for a fireworks show anywhere, did you?
I didn't because I could see both fireworks shows from my balcony. So we never, since we've seen Enchantment and we've seen Harmonious, we just sort of, versus being there and having the, fight the crowds and stand in the 30-minute Skyliner line or anything like that, we just, yeah, we're like, hey, why don't we just be back at our room at 9, watch the fireworks till 9:15, 9:20, and then head down to the pool for an hour.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I mean, and I think you touched on a lot of the things on why you would actually skip the fireworks if you've seen them before. And for anybody that hasn't seen them, the fireworks at Epcot and Magic Kingdom right now, even though they may not be our favorite shows, they are spectacular. And they are very well worth the time to see them at least once.
Here's what else I realized. Fireworks at Magic Kingdom, the Enchantment show, has a runtime of approximately 15 minutes, and Harmonious has a runtime of 20 minutes.
It is 18 and 21.
Yeah, because Magic Kingdom would end, and Harmonious would just be in like mid-finale 1. You're like, all right, we still got like a whole bunch more minutes. Here we go.
Yeah, that's interesting because I've been editing the multi-angle Harmonious show here for the last about week and a half, and it's really close. So don't be surprised if sometime this week, everybody that is subscribed to the YouTube channel gets a notification that we're going to go live with one of the versions. I've got 3 versions right now I'm working through. So just playing with color, sound and everything is awesome. Other than both days that we saw the show, it was really windy. So there's a lot of wind noise. But past that, no, they both look fantastic. So we're excited to bring that to you guys that maybe don't have a chance to get down there, or don't have the ability to get down there to see it in person. We're trying to give you the best view that you can have. We actually taped it from up in the front by Port of Entry, and then over by the Norway Pavilion. So we've got a couple of different angles. It'll look like we have like 17 different angles. It's pretty crazy what zoom and pan and pitch and all that kind of stuff does to where you can actually do more with what you got. So yeah, so fireworks videos coming up. Enchantment we released last week. It looks great if you're watching it on a computer or a TV. It's dark if it's on your phone, which is crazy. So I'm thinking about releasing one that's kind of like mobile only. Maybe just do it in 1080, bring up the color just a little bit on it, and really focus on mobile phones with that version. But yeah, so you didn't stay in park for any of the fireworks, and you ended up spending a couple days at Universal on this trip. And I know that was kind of
It was supposed to be one.
a present for your son that turned into Hagrid's kind of screwing you at the end of a day, and then you decided.
Want the whole story?
Yeah, go for it.
Sure. So, so the reason I wasn't on the show last week, even though I was down in Orlando, is because I was at the other place on Tuesday. So Matt decided that actually, I wish I would have come on at 7:15 because I would have been on the show waiting in line for Hagrid's motorbike adventure. And if I would have stayed on the show, you would have been there during this whole thing because so we went to Universal for one day because, as we know, Disney is where my family wants to be. But my son is over 54 inches and wanted to go to Universal to see the Harry Potter stuff. And so I bought one-day tickets with the ability to go from park to park so we could ride the Hogwarts Express. And Islands of Adventure is one of their parks. It closed at 7 p.m. And then Universal Studios is the other park, and it was open till 10 p.m. So we had the ability to hop. We spent the morning in Islands of Adventure. We went over to Universal Studios for a few hours, and then we came back over specifically to ride Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure. We got in line around 5:30-ish because that thing has a 2 to 3 hour line all day long. All day long. Like all day long. From the moment it opens to the moment it closes, it's a 2 to 3 hour line. So we get in line at like 5:30. At like 6:45, it like briefly rained. Like briefly. We're talking 50 feet of the queue while we were walking, it was drizzling. Like,
yeah.
That was it. All of a sudden, they come over the PA and say, due to inclement weather in the area, we had to shut down the ride. We're like, okay, maybe we did get the outskirts of this. Perhaps there's lightning within 10 miles. So, okay, cool. Then they like play that message like every 5 minutes. We're due to inclement weather in the area, due to inclement weather in the area, due to inclement. So like 6:50, 6:55, 7, 7:05, 7:10, 7:15. And then finally at like 7:36, a guy comes over the PA and says, unfortunately, the time is 7:36. We will not be reopening this ride due to the park already being closed. So we waited in line for 2 hours, and then they tell us we're going to leave, right? So we get shuffled out of this queue. They hand us these Ruby passes, which are, the same as like the paper fast passes that Disney used to give you and kind of still does give you.
Yeah.
The good on any attraction type of things. And I go up to somebody who's in dress clothes because I know not to talk to just somebody, in costume.
Yeah.
So I go up to somebody in dress clothes because obviously they're important. And so I go up and I go, this piece of paper, well, the gesture is wonderful, is a worthless piece of paper for me. She goes, well, why? You can just come back to this ride. I go, no, I can't. I'm here for 1 day and 1 day only. This piece of paper is a slap in the face that you just took 2 hours from me and gave me literally something that I might as well wipe my butt with or use as kindling in a fire. Like, this is a worthless piece of paper. And she goes, well, I mean, Universal Studios is still open until 10. You can just use it on any other ride. And I was like, no, I bought Express Pass. I was only here for 1 day. I'm not an idiot. I already bought Express Pass. This piece of paper literally does nothing for me. And she's like, well, I'm really sorry to hear that. You should go talk to guest services. Okay, I should go talk to guest services. But I'm like, I already lost 2 hours of my day. I'm not going to waste more time waiting in line for guest services. So we just went to Universal. We did like 3 or 4 more rides. And at the end of the day, I sent Jesse with my son to go shop. And I went to guest services. And I was like, hey, man, I'm a travel agent. I'm a Disney pass holder. I'm a DVC member. I go to theme parks. Like, they're my favorite places to be. I get that things happen. But here was the kicker that really pushed me over the edge. We leave Islands of Adventure, and Rip Ride Rocket, an outdoor roller coaster with like 180-foot high lift hill, is running. So Universal made a business decision.
Yeah.
By not reopening the ride is the only answer to it. So fast forward to the end of the night, I go in and I talk to guest services, and I go, listen, I brought my son here. I paid all this money. We had Hagrid's planned. They give me this Ruby Pass. It's a joke. What do we got to do to turn my 1 day tickets into 2 day tickets? I can't come all day tomorrow. I have until noon because then I have a 3 o'clock reservation and Cirque du Soleil tickets. I can't be here all day. I literally just want to walk in the park for a few hours to ride Hagrid's. And they did. To Universal's credit, they comped me tickets for the next day and even paid for my parking.
There you go.
So, yeah, super, super wonderful. So, it was an adventure at Universal. Yes, it was an adventure at Universal. But you and I have had plenty of situations similar to that at Disney. But to Universal's credit and Disney's credit, if you go and talk to somebody, the hope is that they will make it right. Now, I do think it has something to do with my demeanor because I was very listen, I get it. I know. Can I just tell you my story and have you empathize with me and see what you're willing to do? Versus, I guarantee if I walked in there, cussing and screaming, I probably wouldn't have gotten anything, right? I would have gotten a security guard to escort me out. That's what I would have gotten. So, attitude matters. The way you treat people with dignity and respect matters. And Universal, Disney alike. I think if you have something go wrong, I always tell my clients that they'll like text me and be like, "Hey, this happened." I'm like, "I love that you're telling me. I can't do anything for you. Go talk to guest services because they will make something happen in your life that will be wonderful." So, outside of that, if we just kind of like want to recap the trip and see what questions you have about it. Awesome trip. We stayed at Riviera, which is our home DVC resort, but it was the first time we'd actually stayed there because we kept using our points to do like bucket list hotels like Polynesian and such, and Beach Club and all that. So Riviera is an amazing, amazing resort. I'm going to be, since I can book it at 11 months out, it's going to be really hard for me not to just leave it. It's going to be really hard for me to shift it off to something else because it is. I love
it's fantastic. It's fantastic. We stayed there last July, and it's just unbelievable. It's a wonderful resort. The rooms are very well appointed. I know you stayed in a little bit different room than we did. We stayed in a 1-bedroom suite. You stayed in more of like the standard studio room.
Yeah, the deluxe studio, right?
Yeah. But really the only difference between the two is the queen bed in ours was in its own room. The second queen bed in yours was in the same area that the Murphy bed was.
Yep. So it was, but still awesome. Amazing pool. Primo Piatto's fantastic. Topolino's being right upstairs is amazing. All the amenities and all the like things that they have. We talk like the standard or the value resorts, just sort of like, it's nice. They have a few different things. They might have a couple of crafts you can pay for, movies every night, stuff like that. You get up to like the mids and they have that and then some, and then they have cast members at the pool who are doing games and stuff like that. And then you move forward into the deluxes, and there you have like we had 12 hours a day. There was a room downstairs open that had crafts that the kids could do. And they always had movies on, and they had several like board games, Jenga and chess and stuff like that you could just go and play. And
were the bocce balls back out?
Yep, the bocce balls were out. Yep, my kids were hilarious. They're like, "We want to play bocce. We want to play bocce." I'm like, "Why?" They're like, "Well, it's just so fun. We have bocce balls set at home."
It's different when you actually have a lane.
The court, yeah, it is. It is definitely nice when there's a court. But we did lots of new stuff. So we went to the water park for the first time. We ate at the Edison for the first time. We ate at Chef Art Smith's Homecoming for the first time. Addison got her face painted. We went to Cirque du Soleil. Like we did so much. And that's always our message for viewers. We always kind of talk about that. You and I have both been, we're well into like, we need more than two hands at this point of like how many times we've been to Disney. We always are able to find new things, new experiences. We went to PhilharMagic. We had never been to PhilharMagic.
Yeah, we went just because of the new the Coco scene, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, like I had been to PhilharMagic when I was a kid because I still remembered like Donald's ass hanging out of the wall. But we had not taken the kids to PhilharMagic, and just little stuff like that.
Yeah,
there's tons to do and tons of new. We didn't even like get to all of our staples because we were like, oh, let's go do this time.
Yeah, and that's that's one thing that Disney affords you is, I think I talked about this a little bit when I did my trip recap, is that there's so much to do at Walt Disney World that it kind of hides the things that still aren't back. And it's amazing to think that there still are things that aren't back, but there's a lot that hasn't come back yet. And there's
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, and there's still just a ton of stuff that for us that have been down there, we've taken long trips, we've taken short trips, we've taken trips that have focused in the parks, out of the parks. and we still find stuff that we haven't done before. Like, one of the things that is kind of glaring on my list right now that we've never done is we've never played mini golf there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, we've been to all of them, all three of them.
So that's one thing that, on a trip in the future, it's something that we're going to fill in. We haven't done the Cirque du Soleil show. We were scheduled to do the pre-press event in March of 2020.
What happened in March of 2020?
COVID.
Oh, so weird. I've never heard of that.
That trip continues to haunt us of the things that we had planned for that trip that we're just getting around to doing. But real quick, let me take a reset real quick and say thank you to a couple of people. Lift Guy, Uncle Gems over on Twitter, thank you for sharing, retweeting the video for tonight. Appreciate you, especially Gems. You share, retweet, do the follow Fridays, do all that kind of stuff. Really big supporter of the channel. If you're new watching on YouTube or on Twitter, this is the Disney Planning Insights Podcast. I am Matt with the Disney Planning Insights Podcast. This is Peter. Peter is also with Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel, certified travel agency that works with clients, especially on Disney, Walt Disney World, but we can do basically any Disney property that you want to do. So let's get back into your trip a little bit. So you drove down from Indiana. So that's the nice, 14-hour-ish drive?
Yeah, 14 to 15 on the way down, 18 on the way back.
Yeah, I saw that you had some troubles on the way back.
We were driving back, and I turned to Jesse, and within being in the car because we normally drive overnight. On the way down, we left Indiana at about 5 p.m., got down there at about 8 a.m. Plenty of time to just sort of settle in a little bit, and then we went straight over to Typhoon Lagoon, which that's another thing. If you have not done a water park at Disney, at the end of the day, it's just a water park. But still, I went and I was like, yeah, it's just a water park. But then as I was there, I was like, God, but it's the best water park I've ever been to. It's just, everything's the same, right? Oh, great water coaster. Oh, cool family raft ride. Oh, tube slides.
Yeah.
Body slides, plunges, lazy river. But you just are there, and again, you just sort of feel the Disney over the topness with the theming and the cast members and, the just all the accommodations and everything. You're just okay, congratulations, Disney, you did it again. Wonderful, wonderful, fantastic time at the water park. But we always drive overnight, and then on the way back, I was like, okay, well, what if we had Topolino's on Saturday. We also had a Hollywood Studios reservation. And kind of halfway through the trip, I was like, what if we just go to Topolino's and leave around 11? Versus go to Hollywood Studios and leave at 5 or 6 p.m. and drive overnight and be exhausted. What if we get home at a reasonable time, 1 or 2, sleep, so we have all day Sunday. So that was the plan. That's what we did. We left at about 11. And within 3 hours, we had gone hour and a half of distance. And it was that moment I turned to Jesse and I was like, this is why we drive overnight. This is why we just suck it up, deal with it, and drive overnight. Because all these other non-vampires just suck up the road. Oh, the kicker actually, because once the sun started to go down and all of that, I was starting to make good time. A lot of the traffic had kind of cleared. The kicker was stupid Nashville. Just north of Nashville, they were doing road construction on 65, where they had trimmed it down to 1 lane, but they were also constantly bringing in and out dump trucks with asphalt.
Yeah.
So there were hardly any vehicles on the road, because by now it's 11:30 midnight, when it really should have been 9 or 10 p.m. when I drove through Nashville, but it's like midnight, and that freaking added an hour to my trip because of the stupid road work happened in northern Nashville on 65. But I digress. Let's talk about more fun stuff. Typhoon Lagoon is amazing. Chef Art Smith's Homecoming might have just become my favorite restaurant at Disney World.
Really?
That's how good it is. It is, wow. That's the only word. The portion sizes are massive. The flavors are fantastic. The wait staff is amazing. The moonshine cocktails are more moonshine than cocktail.
I saw that Jessie had posted her drink on the Facebook page. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like this 22-ounce thermos, and I'm telling you, like, but it was a moonshine cocktail. But boy, oh boy, it was moonshine with a twist.
What do you guys think about the Edison? The Edison's one of my favorite burgers on property.
Yep, Edison was good too. I enjoyed the Edison. I got what burger? I think I got the Edison burger. Is that the one that has like the barbecue and the bacon and?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got that. I got the Edison burger. It was a good burger. But yeah, the Disney Springs thing that stuck out to me was Chef Art Smith's. That place, it's worth all of the fanfare.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
It was amazing.
Let's talk about some other stuff.
Bruno.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about Bruno.
No,
we never talk about Bruno.
We're talking about Bruno.
What'd you guys do? Did you do Hollywood Studios Day this trip?
Yeah, we went to all the parks.
Okay, all right. I don't think I ever saw anything from Studios, so.
We went to Studios a couple of different times. We started there one day and basically spent the whole day there, and then we went back there another day after hopping from Magic Kingdom on a crazy, crummy, rainy day. It was the day after Cirque du Soleil, so we decided to sleep in. And then we got to Magic Kingdom, we got on People Mover and Haunted Mansion, and then it just started downpouring. And we stood in the Liberty Bell station where the boat is for about an hour and a half, and then we said screw it and left. And then we just kind of went back to the hotel. But then once the rain did clear, we hopped on the Skyliner and went over to Hollywood. We had an Oga's reservation with a friend / client of mine, so the 8 of us went to Oga's. Had a great time. We went to Oga's another time, and it happened that one of my clients I didn't even realize, because Jesse took care of our reservations and I took care of client reservations because we had a whole bunch of on the same day arrivals. And so I didn't even realize it, but our Oga's time was like 20 minutes before my client's Oga's time. And so they walk in, I'm like, we got 2 spots. So I had to go talk to a coordinator about getting them moved over to where we were. So that was a fun impromptu Oga's gathering.
There you go.
With another one of my clients.
Oga's always a good time. What'd you go to drink wise at Oga's?
I finally did it. I got the Rancor tooth set. I finally did it. I did it. What, you seem upset?
No, not upset. Not upset. I think it was just a matter of time.
It was just a matter of time. So yeah, the first time we went to Oga's, I got the Rancor tooth set, and then when the flight was done, they finally had Spice Runner back.
Hey!
They finally had the special Angry Orchard cider that they only make for Oga's, which tastes awfully like the sinful Angry Orchard, by the way. Well, the premise is it's the spice from Tatooine in.
Yeah.
So
what Hans used to write.
Yeah, which also the spice from Tatooine is totally a ripoff of the spice on Dune, but whatever.
Yeah. Is what it is.
Right. So you had that, and then when I went back the second time, I literally just straight up had 4 Spice Runners. I was just so happy Spice Runner was back.
There you go. eventful day. You celebrated your birthday at Epcot.
Yes.
So, happy birthday.
Yes. It's always good. We got there. So park opened at 8:30. So early entry at 8. We got there at about 7:40. Got through security, got into the park. We got in line for Remy. I think we rode. Park opened at 8:30. Early entry at 8. I think we rode and were out of Remy by 8:20. So that was pretty sweet. And then because we were already out of Remy, we were able to just go Frozen, Test Track, Soarin', and just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And in the middle of all that, get like Spaceship Earth and Living with the Land. So we like rode all the big four, and it was like noon. So it was pretty sweet. Then we relaxed in the DVC lounge for a little bit, and then we just from like 12:30 till like 5-ish, we would go up 2 nations, grab a table, fan out, grab a bunch of crap from the festival stands, bring it all back to this table and just chow down, and then go up another couple of countries, fan out, grab all the stuff from the nearby festival stands, just chow down. It was awesome. So it took us about 5 or 6 hours to work our way around the World Showcase doing that. Didn't stop in Italy at all, which that Italy booth is literally the same food every single festival. There's only so many times you can see arancini and the fritter balls and the.
That's the same thing with the Mexican booth too.
Oh, so yeah, the one on the other side of the bridge.
Yeah, the
tostada
and
yeah, because it's always empanadas.
Yeah,
which empanadas are good. Don't get me wrong, empanadas are good. But when I can go have like a goat cheese and honey popsicle, like I'm gonna go do that.
Yeah. What was your favorite thing that you got from? Because you've been down there now, what, 3 times for Flower and Garden?
Twice.
Okay.
When Jesse and I go in June for our anniversary, that will be
okay.
So, what's my favorite?
Yeah, your favorite thing you've gotten out of a booth, not anything from the countries, but actually from the booth.
Wow. Okay, I can answer for Jesse while I think about mine. Jesse got at the France one, whatever it's, Fleur de Lis. Fleur de Lis is the name of the stand.
Okay.
It's the one in France that has the Levian Rose slushy. She got this, it's like a croissant, but the croissant is full of like a garlic cream cheese. She got like 4 of them throughout the week. She freaking loved those things and just could not get enough of them. I'm trying to like stay away from the Germany stuff because I'm a big Germany stuff fan.
If that was your favorite, that was your favorite, man.
No. So I'm gonna go. Here's what I'm actually gonna go with. I'm gonna do a cop-out answer. There are several phenomenal ciders throughout, and I'm a pretty big fan of, like, I like craft beers, of course, but I'm a really big fan of ciders. And there were a bunch of different locations that had really, really good ciders. There were just lots of good beer flights and stuff. My favorite food item, God, I ate so much that day. Oh, I got Verlasso salmon at Good Eats, which is right underneath the monorail track as you're coming from the Land Pavilion towards World Showcase by Starbucks.
Yeah.
There's Honey Bistro and Good Eats.
And
at Good Eats, I got this salmon and wild rice. Oh, it was that was the best thing. Man, I chowed that down. I refuse to let anybody have any bites of that. That is mine and mine only.
Yeah, I like the sirloin tip thing in the Canada booth this year.
My dad was a fan of that. Jesse got the scallops there. I think I got the flight there, or maybe
then my favorite drink. Now I didn't get the cider flight in the UK, which I wanted to do, but my favorite drink was actually the grapefruit lemonade It was a frozen grapefruit lemonade with Ciroc vodka that was really good, and that was next to that Encanto Garden.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that's at the place with the it had the arepas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Bryce got the non-alcoholic version of that, so I took a sip of the non-alcoholic version of that.
Yeah.
So yes, that was also very good.
All right. Anything else new that you guys did? I mean, you got to talk about Cirque du Soleil. You got to talk about Drawn to Life.
But I can't spoil it. It's remarkable. It's remarkable. So it tells the story. So the story of Drawn to Life is a girl who's lost her father, kind of like leaves behind a like encouragement for her to like follow her dreams of being like an animator, basically.
Okay.
And then the whole storyline is like her fighting with inspiration and writer's block. And the performers, the performers are all different aspects of her inspiration or writer's block. And throughout all of it, there's sort of like these characters that are like sort of her mind that are sort of like working their way through all of these skits as well. So you have like the lead protagonist in the story who's like doing the stuff, but then you had sort of like 4 things that were like representing her that were kind of experiencing and doing throughout the show. And then of course you just have the performers that are just, some of the stuff that those individuals do are just insane. Like this guy walked out with pecs bigger than my head, and I said, oh my God, this is an aerialist and it's going to be amazing. And so he had just like this long, like 8-foot pole attached to a rope hanging from the ceiling, and just did like amazing stuff on it. There were these guys inside of this like wheel system. So there's like 4 circles and they're heading opposite directions. And these guys were in them and then out of them and then pretending to fall. And like several times my mom, like I knew the guy was just kind of like playing, but like my mom was like, oh, because like it totally looks like I was about to just like all like, 4 stories. Like,
have you ever been to a Cirque show before that?
I had not. That was my first one. It was so remarkable.
Yeah, we've seen a couple out in Vegas, so we're excited to see it and kind of compare it to the 2 shows we've seen out in Vegas.
It's so perfect, and I hope if they take it away, I hope they fill it with something as equally as Disney, because it is so. They mix in a bunch of like Disney animation at various times, like. The villain part has a bunch of villains, and the inspiration part has like inspirational sayings of Disney characters. It's so amazing, and it's so perfect. Like that show would not make sense in Vegas.
Yeah,
like, it makes sense because it's at the Cirque du Soleil Pavilion at Disney Springs. It was remarkable, and it is a perfect, if you've been to Disney several times, but you're looking for that little bit more, if you're starting to get to that point where you're building in rest days, and like if you want to spend the little bit of money, it is so incredibly worth it.
Yeah, that's great to hear.
And my 12-year-old was engaged the entire time, asking me lots of questions. My 7-year-old was loving it, but it was also like 9:30 and she had been going all day, so she did fall asleep in like the last 15 minutes. But fantastic show. I cannot say enough about the Cirque du Soleil experience.
Good deal. Anything else about your trip that you want to talk about?
Crazy busy.
Yeah, that we got that from ours too. I mean, it was busy, but it wasn't like you couldn't do what you wanted to do if you planned it right.
Correct. Yes. And maybe the reason why it felt busier is I did not do Genie Plus. And that is something with being a before time Disney goer. I really miss those 3 free fast passes. I really
we've gone into it a bunch about how a lot of the changes have really affected the long time Disney goer or the multiple time Disney goer more than it's affected the first time Disney visitor.
Yeah, because the first time Disney visitors, it's just a question of, do you want to just relax and do your own thing, or do you want to make sure you do it all? In which case, we're buying Genie Plus guarantee. Yeah. Like, it's
the whole Thanos thing. He gets rid of everybody, so nobody remembers what it was like.
Yeah, there you go. I will say though, the midways did not seem as congested as the before time, but the ride line seemed as long or longer.
That was kind of my thought as well. It seemed like there was less people in the park, but the ride wait times were longer. Like the one that just absolutely stung me when we were at the parks was Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, when we were down there, like I think on a busy day at Magic Kingdom, Seven Dwarfs had like a 95 and Jungle Cruise had like a 110.
Yeah.
And you said you waited like 2+ hours.
Yeah, it was over 2 hours.
That's crazy.
So, yeah.
I love Jungle Cruise, but I would not wait 2 hours for Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, it was a 70-minute wait when we got in the line.
Yeah, 45 would be about where I tap out for Jungle Cruise.
See, we normally attack it in the morning, but the way we did Magic Kingdom this last time, we kind of split up for breakfast. So we did Seven Dwarfs at Rope Drop, which we basically did what you guys did with Ratatouille.
Yeah.
We were out of the ride before the fast pass or the lightning lane started, so we didn't get bogged down by those people.
Yeah.
And then we split up for breakfast. 2 of us went to Gaston's to get cinnamon rolls. The other 2 went up to Starbucks to get drinks, and we met in front of the plaza. Well, Starbucks was a joke, and that took about an hour to get drinks there.
Yeah.
And then we were getting to Jungle Cruise 10 o'clock.
It's too late.
Yep, and we'd already missed our window because that is a steadfast. If you're not doing Seven Dwarfs at Rope Drop, you go left and you get Jungle Cruise, Pirates, and either Splash or Big Thunder knocked out first thing in the morning.
You could do, yeah. If you go left, right. So that was the part that screwed me on it, is when we got there crazy early for the early entry, they only opened Fantasyland and Tomorrowland.
So you have to go across the bridge to the right of the castle into Tomorrowland, or no,
yeah,
back towards the teacups.
Yeah, we went down the path aimed at teacups, but then we went through and we tried to like leave Fantasyland, and they had ropes. They wouldn't let us into Liberty Square or Frontierland or Adventureland.
Really?
Yes, so we just ended up like on the day that we went super early because we were gonna go and we were gonna ride that whole 4. We were gonna start and work our way to where, as the regular guest came in, we would have already been through Jungle Cruise and on Pirates when the park opened, and then back to Splash and back to Big Thunder before people even got back there.
Yeah.
And instead, we had to go up Cheshire Lane. So then we tried to come around, and I tried to go. I was like, okay, I guess we got to walk all the way stinking around to ride Jungle Cruise. And a cast member goes, no, just Fantasyland and Tomorrowland are open. Like, what? And now, like, we had taken 10, 15 minutes of our early entry time to walk up and around.
Yeah.
All we ended up doing with our early entry is ride stinking Small World.
I'm just going to say that's a waste of early entry.
Thank you. I understand that.
Just reiterating the facts. That's what I'm here for.
No, I know.
No, at that point, if they're gonna do that, it's almost worth it to just hang out, watch the welcome show,
and go left.
And then go left.
That's what. And I realized that like way too late, because then by the time we would have gotten rope dropped in Fantasyland, now everybody that was waiting at that left is going to be well in front of me for all that other stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, so we just rode Small World, got off of that, and then went to Gaston's and Ariel and Dumbo, and there's like...
You hit like the trifecta of People that don't plan well rides at Magic Kingdom.
I was like, you know what? All of my plans are gone, so I'm just gonna sit down and have my big ass cinnamon roll and do whatever I can.
If you rode the Barnstormer as well.
I did not ride Barnstormer.
I was gonna say.
Although, have you ever had to ride Barnstormer 5 times in a row?
Not 5 times in a row, but we have done it back to back to back with Braden.
Yeah, I have, because we were there, with Addie's trip in January. It's kind of a rainy, cold day, and there was nobody in line for Barnstormer.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I know. And Addie's like, let's do it again. I can't tell you no, it's your birthday.
All right, Peter, where can people find you at?
Facebook's the easiest way. If you search Disney Travel Agent, I'll be one of the top results. Or obviously you can be more direct with your search by typing in Princesses and the Mouse. That'll definitely make me the top result. And then outside of that,
we've got the website. It's in chat. I just posted it up over in chat. So.
Oh, look at you. So yeah, or you could go directly to our website. Through Facebook, just click on Messenger and get in touch with me. Through the website, we have a little form for you to fill out that will send me that starting planning info, and then I'll reach back out to you through whatever contact method you prefer, email or text message or whatever else like that. But
what are you seeing? I guess the next couple of big things would be summer break and fall break. What are you seeing for summer break and fall break? Disney did just release that Disney Plus deal. That is July 7th through September 30th. So it misses a lot of the fall breaks if you have a later fall break like we do here in Indiana. But what are you seeing with clients and rooms and that kind of stuff? I mean, when we looked at the Disney Plus deal for the end of summer break, it was looking like rooms were already kind of gone for that.
Yeah, that's that would be my comment. My comment would be room availability in the remainder of 2022 is the lowest I've ever seen. By now, you would expect like some fall break, but like fall break is like there's availability, don't get me wrong. So if you want to go for fall break, I guess my message would be, if you want to go for fall break, you better commit or quit.
Yeah.
Because if you want to go for fall break, you should really make it happen. Reach out to your travel or however you do it. You should make it happen because it's filling up. It really is. I would anticipate sort of like what happened in the later spring breaks, the Marches, the Aprils. There were like no deals released this year for any of those.
Yeah.
And I kind of expect the same thing to happen in the fall break area. So if you're sitting there thinking, oh, I'll wait for a deal. I don't know if there will be October deals. And if there are, I mean, at least book now and then try to change your reservation, but don't wait for a deal and then be left high and dry.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird because normally you have like that everybody deal for the summer. You know, that 10, 15, 20, 25 deal for the summer, 15, 20, 25 deal for the summer. And with Disney releasing that just to Disney Plus subscribers, that really says a lot that they're not really trying to fish that business for summer break that they have done in years past.
You and I have talked about how the prices keep looking like the mountain climber on Price is Right, and that eventually it's going to, I don't know when that's going to happen because the number of, from my experience being there and being in the website and booking for people, I don't know if I've ever seen Disney this busy. And maybe it's just, all the hotels are back open. They're at 100% open. In 6 days, character embraces are coming back. So, Fantasmic is definitely coming back in 2022. We're just waiting for the official date. They've announced Guardians of the Galaxy's coming late May. So, for all intents and purposes, outside of the dining plan, Disney's back. And the reservations are still filling up. So if you were Disney, why would you bring back the dining plan?
There's no point right now.
It's definitely a cost saver, and we got to pay travel agents commissions on it.
There is a reason that they haven't brought back the dining plan, and they don't have the staff. They don't have the character staff yet.
Speaking of that, college is back.
College program is back. International comes back later this summer.
Soon though. Soon. I was talking to a girl in the shop in Norway, and she said she expects to be replaced by June or September at the latest.
Yeah.
So I was same with a guy in the pub in UK. He was like, yeah, at some point they're going to kick me out of here, but they've been saying soon for like 6 months. So we're like, oh, kind of like the dining plan. He goes, ha ha.
All right, Peter. Well, thanks for coming on this week. If we get to talk to you next week, we'll talk to you next week. If not, tell the guys to hit them well on the course. Jeez. Great transition.
Okay, bye everyone. I tried to say bye and it did not happen.
Bye, Peter. Have a good night, man.
Oh my goodness.
That was Peter with Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel. Like he was saying, you can get in touch with him over on Facebook at PATM Disney Travel, and on the website patmdisneytravel.wixsite.com/planning. If you're on Twitch or YouTube, it is in the comments or in the chat, so you can check that out. Past that, not a whole lot else going on, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the closing so I can get the kids to bed. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. We did have a guest this week. It was Peter with Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel. You can get in touch with him on Facebook or through the website. Just my thought from the last screen. If you do want to get in touch with us over on Facebook, easiest way at DPI Podcast for the podcast, at PATM Disney Travel for the travel side. Over on Twitter is probably where I'm the most active, at Disney Insights. I like to get into arguments and that kind of stuff over there. And then we have our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, listening, everything that you guys do. Have a good week, and we will talk to you